It's a beautiful day right here. I don't know, but I can see some form of brightness today. I can see excitement. Everybody that I've met today is so excited. And I'm also excited to have you join us this morning on Global Morning, reaching you live and direct from the nation's capital, Abuja, Nigeria, to every of our viewers outside the country. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching us from right now. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. We have so much lined up for you on Global Morning today. What you need to do is just fasten your seatbelt because it's going to be an interesting moment. And of course, Priscilla is here. Good morning, Priscilla.
Good morning, Ramsey. When you started by saying everyone you've met today is excited.
Yes. And you know, excitement is contagious.
Okay, so somehow you have contacted.
No, I even woke up all true. You know, I'm an exciting person. So I'm always, I don't know. That's how I'm wired. I'm always excited because I put so many things behind me. I consider what's in front than what is behind. And whatever that is happening now, I look at it as a phase and a stepping stone to what's going to happen tomorrow. So I'm hardly, moody. I'm always excited.
Well, it's a good thing. I did a little research recently about, how our brains are wired. And somehow I found out that when you wake up in the morning, your brain takes longer time to boot. There's a part of your brain that wakes up with you. And there are other parts that, takes over 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour to wake up. So those parts are our emotional, psychology, our emotional brain. Sometimes you see people waking up and trying to get into the mood to do a lot of things, or a bit moody, right? Some people wake up a bit moody. Sometimes it's basically because there are other parts of their brains have not activated yet. So it just taught me to follow humans, in that light. Yeah, if you see people in the morning, just be gentle. And like you say, there are people that are on the excited side, right? So those kind of persons now, this is where they come into play to help boost, awaken the other parts of the brain of those other people. Because I don't know if you've noticed some kind of people, in the mornings, how they are, they can all get triggered by just a little thing. Sometimes it's just the wiring of the brain. I'm not trying to give excuses for bad character though, but
I thought you were.
And then learning from being positive is something too that I picked from what you say, right? There are people that want to always dwell on the past. This has happened to me. I was treated this way when I was growing up. That's why I'm like this. My mother did this. My brother did this. My father did this. And somehow you just keep all of that. And that whole thing becomes a stumbling block for your progress. But you think you are holding on. You think you are hurting someone. You think you are beefing somebody. You think you are, you feel one kind of... what do I call it? You just feel okay. You feel like a revenge, trying to get back at someone, and you feel like that is the way to go. But ultimately, that hinders you. Ultimately, you're putting yourself behind. Ultimately, you are creating.
While the other person is even moving forward,
creating a stumbling block. So, if you want to move forward, the first thing to do is to heal. We all have our traumas. We, background, growing up, childhood, everything. In the African setting, Nigeria alone comes with trauma. Yeah, that's true. But we must learn to heal.
If you don't heal, it has an implication. If you don't heal, you're simply injuring yourself emotionally and psychologically.
Yes.
Show me a man that is ineffective in his daily activities, and I will show you a man that is modeling up with a lot of pains on the inside. You can't function properly.
Yeah.
And that's the reason you need to leave so many things behind you. Speak out. Very important. If you're offended by anyone or anything, speak out. You understand?
True.
Speak to the person. You said something. Some people will say, well, that my neighbor saw me this morning, he couldn't even greet me. You don't know if that part of the brain is still booting.
Exactly.
So I don't take it to heart. I look at it as in, is it not greeting? When you greet me, I answer. Sometimes you greet some people and they don't answer well. Don't take it to heart. Yeah. Wait and see if it happens repeatedly. All right? But not at the same time.
Yes.
Maybe it was in the morning. Try afternoon. If the same thing repeats itself in the afternoon, try evening. If the same thing repeats itself, try it the next day like 3 times, then you begin to phantom.
Yeah, you don't need to beef anyone.
No. Just said, okay, maybe this person is not good with greeting.
Yeah.
You try another aspect of the person. If the person is traveling the same route with you, you know, somebody that, you know, this one, there are so many things that I need to benefit from this person.
Yeah,
you overlook a lot of things.
I was going to say that sometimes
you overlook a lot of things.
Hurt when the relationship is something that we really cherish, right? If someone comes to tell you now, I don't like your green suits, are you going to respond?
No, it's thank you.
I don't like your green suits. They look at you right now. I look at you. I just see you this morning, and I say, Ramsey, I don't like your green suits. And
like 5 persons have told me before that I look good.
You're not wearing a green suit in the first place.
I thought you were given an instance.
Yeah, no. I'm seeing you with a black suit and I say I don't like your green suit. You will not respond to me because you know you're not wearing a green suit, right? So sometimes when we get triggered, sometimes it's basically from an internal sense of, do you understand?
Yes, some people speak from the inside.
Yes, so if you know that, and I'm also bringing this analysis to say that you are often triggered by people that you have close relationship with, right? If you don't have a business with someone, the person can do and do, you will not even mind. But when there's a close relationship, right, you want to pay attention, you want to get, you know, it gets to you.
And one other thing that you need to know again in that line is that, number one, you need to know that every human being is dynamic in nature.
Okay.
And some people may have mood swing. If you have a friend, a family member, an associate, somebody you're related, connected, or associated with, you know, and all these things is in levels. There's a level, okay, there are some things that I would not expect from Priscilla, all right? There are some things that I would expect from her. So these boundaries need to be drawn, you know, so that you don't get disappointed easily, because a lot of people, like in Nigeria for instance, a lot of people expect just too much from the government, and that has made a lot of people lazy. I don't know if you, I think I was speaking to someone, I think a few days ago, you know, we do a lot of counseling and all of that. You know, there are some persons that because of the kind of mentality they came out of school with, you remember when we were in secondary school, everybody would say, I want to go to ABU, I want to go to Unijos, I want to go to... But when you got out of school, the story was different. Yeah. Some went to state universities and all of that. The same thing. As you're graduating, some people say, yes, my uncle has promised me I'm going to work in FRS, I'm going to work in CBN, I'm going to work in this and all of that. So they pattern their life towards that. As soon as they get out of school, and their uncle say, hold on, 1 year, hold on, 2 years, hold on, 3 years, frustration starts setting in. They never had a second plan. They were depending on the government job and all of that. So there was no second plan. And that's made them relax, and before you know, some get frustrated, some even got into wrong hands as a result. So what are we trying to say, everyone? What we are trying to say is that if you are patterning your life, you should always have a second plan. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Don't depend on any human.
Don't depend on any human too much, not even the government. Even if your brother is a senator, if your brother is even the president, you should be, Nigerians, one of the problems that I've noticed with some persons is the fact that they like being given fish, but not being taught how to fish, which is a problem.
Won't you be happy to collect?
If you give me fish the first time, okay, I'll say thank you, oh, this is lovely. The second time, I should be able to ask, Uncle, how do I go get this fish myself? It is a long distance, either me coming to collect this fish or you bringing this fish to me. Can we bridge this gap? That is a word of wisdom, because you have a target. But a lot of people are so satisfied with it now. You understand? Yeah. And before you know, oh, he has defected to another party. Oh, what will happen to us now?
And they start getting angry.
And they start getting angry unnecessarily. When somebody is pursuing his own ambition.
Entitlement.
You're angry that the person defected from your party to another party. If you want to defect, to defect.
So ultimately what we're saying is, don't expect too much from people. Heal first. Heal. If you have a healthy mindset, I mean, people wouldn't offend you too much.
Yes.
It's when there's so much bruise on your inside, when there's so much pain on your inside, every little thing becomes a trigger. Every little thing just reminds you of that pain that you felt, and you see the world through the lens of your pain. So heal so that you can move forward. Heal so that you wouldn't get yourself angry often. Heal so that your life can be productive.
Yeah, I think I like that. So that your life can be productive.
Yeah.
Try and think of what you can add to other people's life, and not you always wanting people to add to your life. You know, there should be times should come where you even walk to some people and ask them, man, what can I do to add to this person's life?
True.
What can I do to add to this place that I am? You know, this association, this relationship.
It's called maturity.
Yeah, it's maturity. And one thing people don't know is that people, all right, who do things for other, no matter how small, assume a leadership position indirectly, because those people will start looking up to that person for that thing when the need arises. If it is a discussion, they say, I wish Priscilla was here. Priscilla will know what to do, what to say, because she had done it 1, 2, 3 times. So we should be able to contribute to societal growth, family growth, organizational growth, and otherwise.
And your friends' growth, your
people's friendship growth. No. For relationship, I don't even. I'm very careful with relationship. I grew up with a notion, all right, and it is my friends don't choose me, but I choose who my friends should be. I am this kind of person. While growing up, I had a lot of people around me, my peer group, everyone wanted to be around me. I don't know what they see as per se.
You're a fine man now.
It's not even that. It's not even the opposite side.
You want to be humble.
I don't even know. But a lot of people wanted to be around me. So it's like I read a book, and the book was talking about be careful who your friends are, and they gave instances. So from that day, I made up my mind that I was going to choose my friends. I had a lot of people around me. I don't chase them away. All right, I look at them as my friends.
They're not necessarily
but they were not necessarily my friends. Whatever they need from me, the one that I can render, the services that I can render, the ones that I can do, I go ahead to do them. But I know who my real friends are, and they knew too.
I think it's just the way forward. Relationships should be purposeful. Everything. They say when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So if you don't go into whatever relationship, whether it's just be a casual friendship, whatever it is, let there be a goal to that friendship. Else you would waste your years. You waste your time, you waste your minutes, you waste your seconds. Your seconds will amount to minutes, your minutes will amount to hours, your hours will amount to days, years, and all of that. So time is precious.
You become a gun at that point.
Exactly. Time, they say, is a gift. So you should be careful how you invest your time in whatever activity, be it in a human being or be it an activity. Be careful, be purposeful about your relationship. That's one of the reasons why people just lose focus. Before you know, they're trying to get themselves back, and time has passed. That is the reason why we have a thing called village people. Village people emerge when they do not, people that do not make use of their time.
Then they attribute.
They don't. Yes, they not get to that age. They not get to that stage in life called generativity or despair, where you are either someone that is productive or you are in total despair. The only thing that amounts to your life is looking for people that. We're looking for misery, looking for company of misery, people in misery, and then your enemies now become people that have been able to use their time wisely. So life has stages.
That's a very long message. Your enemies now will become people that are doing well.
Exactly.
You just get angry because this woman has done well. Maybe she
has been able to raise good children. She has been able to build an empire for herself. She has been able to go to school. She has been able to do a lot. She has been able to achieve. She has been able to build a name, a good name, which is ultimately the best of the things.
Good name is better than riches.
The best legacy you can leave for yourself. A good name. So someone has been able to build a good name, and then you now become a hater. You now start to talk down on it, and so what? This thing is not even this.
Internet kill that person there.
So we should. It starts from now, and the truth is that anytime you have lost, it's like we started saying, the past is the past. What you do with your today is what matters. So it doesn't matter what has gone behind you. It is all in the past. What you do with the past is learn the mistakes and use it. We don't teach our children about failure. Failure is a tool. Yes, the fact that you failed at something means that you have the capacity, you have a knowledge about that thing to not make the same mistakes.
I think that's what failure is all about.
Yes, so
failure is something happened. The reason people just call it failure, and the reason why they call it failure is just because it didn't go your way. The way you were thinking it was going to go. So you didn't get. See, you get result, but the result you may get may not be favorable to you. The one you're expecting.
So failure can be success in disguise, because it's really success when you have been able to learn. So we don't throw away our failures. No, we learn from it and use it for tomorrow.
All right.
It doesn't matter whatever it is.
Yes. Right now, let's take you a little bit to Kano State, where we saw that empowerment happening there and there. And one thing that I've actually noticed, that's from Abaganduje in Kano State, where we saw people being empowered. We were made to understand that that is not the first time. I'm trying to say something now. Giving our empowering people, him empowering people. Now, this is what it is. When we talk about empowerment, a lot of people think it is the sole responsibility of the government. Growing up, there was something they call NDE, National Directorate of Employment, where they go from state, local government, train people on hairdressing and all of that. But today, individuals are doing it. And that is giving back. I'm talking about giving back to the society. Giving back
our corporate social responsibility.
We've seen organizations that empower people. We've seen individuals that empower people. We've seen government officials empowering people. One thing about this is, I know, well, let me not say this, because somebody will say, oh, is maybe because a part of you were somehow some part of the north and all of that. There is this thing, this gifting that some people do. They can just come to maybe where people are hungry. Okay. And they said, all right, madam, this akara or kose or binke, whatever you want to call it, everything, how much is everything, and they just pay for it. And whoever that is there that want to partake in it, we just, that is immediate satisfaction, right? That is going to keep that person for some hours. If you have money, all right, to maybe have a breakfast, you may not have it that time. And that little thing that you've done will go a long way, okay, speaking for you. And that's the reason I tell politicians, if you are doing well, you don't even need too much campaign. You don't even need to do all these their sacrifices that they say they do. I don't know the kind of sacrifices they do. You don't even need to stress yourself. But when you see people running helter-skelter, trying to buy votes, trying to induce people and all of that, it's a sure sign that this person has not carried out his constituency projects. Funny enough, some people, you won't know them. The last and first time you ever see them is during that election, during that voting, when they came to tell lies, all right, to do their propagandas, to do their manifestos and all of that. Out of that, you don't get to see them in that community again until the end. So if you are a public office holder, what do you need to do? Do the needful, all right? Someone told me something. He said, well, politicians have intentions, and everyone, just like a business owner, you go into business because you want to make profit. They are getting into politics to survive, to make ends meet, to make money per se, as the case may be. If you get there, you will make money in so many ways, but then the little that you need to give back to the people, you can do that. It may not be 100%. Even if you are doing 50, 60, 70, the people will even overlook whether or not you are taking so much to yourself. But the issue of total abandonment, that's where the problem is.
Exactly. I like what you said. When you said the reason why people run helter-skelter during elections is basically because they've not done the needful. They've not worked during the time that they're supposed to work. Hard work is a seed, right? When you sow it, you get to repeat. And in politics, I don't know, our leaders, I just feel like they intentionally do not want to adhere to these things. They've said, I just feel like sometimes they say to themselves, you see this good route? No, you guys, leave this road. Let's follow this other one. They now do it collectively. It now becomes a taboo. It looks like there's a code of conduct that says the good thing is not for us. I don't really know why. Because is it not common sense to do the right thing? Is it not common sense to go to your constituency, build roads, give to the needy, create water sources and all of that? These are things that activists want to jump on. So if activists are trying to jump on this, it's not supposed to be common sense for our politicians that have been in the game for a while. Do you understand? It's not news. They have been in that game. You mean? Activists are trying to even do all these things now. People that call themselves, I'm not even talking about philanthropists. If activists will say, I want to get, especially social media activists, if they say, I want to get the love of the people on social media, they do these things.
They even give away.
Giveaways.
Away.
Thank you.
Drop your hazard.
Giveaways. Drop your hazard. These are things that social media influencers feel like, I want the support of the people.
It's a bait. If you want to get followership.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to bring it down to how common this thing is right now. So why is it that politicians have been in the game of people? Because I call politics a game of people. They have been in this game. I just know that it is an intentional effort. Do you know? It's an intentional effort, an intentional thing, not to do what your own part, as simple as building primary health care.
All right. Well, as simple as building primary health care. Let's take a quick break. After this break, we'll bring you inspirationals. And after the inspirationals, we'll bring to you the headlines for today. Stay with us.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Well, my name is Ramsey Enoch, and it's good to have you join us today on Heart to Heart Inspirationals. And let's get you inspired because we value you. You are very important. You mean so much to this generation. Do you know why? Because if anything happens to you on this journey of destiny, it means something has gone wrong with a generation because you are a potential destiny helper. But then, what step are you taking? All right? Where are you? What are you doing? My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Small steps still move forward. We love big breakthrough. A lot of people want to be big men overnight. They just wake up overnight and they want to be big men, not knowing what it takes to be a big man, to be a big woman. Breakthroughs are things that we are supposed to enjoy, but then, does it just fall from heaven? No. One thing we need to understand is that there are things we need to do to really be successful in life. How much work are you putting into yourself? We need to know that life has so much for us. The truth is this: we love big breakthrough, yeah, that's true, but we underestimate small obedience. Small obedience. And that's the reason you see a lot of people make resolutions and they don't keep to it. You see a lot of people do their to-do list for the day and they are not keeping it. Discipline and obedience to small things. You know, little foxes that destroy the vine. You may think those things are small, they don't matter. But then it makes you accelerate. It makes you move forward in life. We celebrate overnight success, but ignore daily discipline. How many people are disciplined today? Even CEOs, they are not disciplined today. A lot of people are not disciplined today. Business owners are not disciplined today. A lot of people have eaten their capitals. Yes, a lot of people. I know of people who ate their capitals. Some even went into debt. These are people that were making millions. I know. I'm not talking abstract. These are people that I know. Where are they today? What happened? Discipline. I've even walked to someone before to say, hey, come on. Do you know what? I know it's your business. I know it's your company. I know you are in charge. But then, instead of just putting your hand into the business money and taking out of it every day, place yourself on salary. Be a salary earner. Let the business pay you. Oversee it. Let it pay you. You don't just wake up without discipline. Oh, you have a need. Bam. Accountant. Yes, sign this check. No. It's not done. Discipline is very important if you want to be successful in life, if you want to make progress in life. Discipline is very important, not just discipline alone. Obedience and discipline go hand in hand, all right? You need to be obedient, all right, and you need to be disciplined. Yet, I want to let you know that nothing great happens suddenly. It happens consistently. Consistency is key. Whatever you're doing. Okay, let me give you an instance. Why do you think anywhere you go to look for a job, whatever you want to do, people look for someone who have experience? Because the more consistent you are on a particular thing, the more professional you become. But a lot of people, because of the issue of diversification, multiple sources of income and all of that, these theories have made a lot of people not to concentrate on a particular thing, not to be consistent in doing one thing and become a professional in it. A lot of people are slaving today because they were not consistent in what they were doing. A lot of people are not employable today because of inconsistency, disobedience, and indiscipline. Three major issues: indiscipline, disobedience, and inconsistency. These are thieves of time. Progress, like they said, is not always loud. It's not loud. Sometimes it looks like getting up again. Sometimes it looks like staying committed, all right, when nobody is clapping. A lot of people. That's why, initially I talked about on Heart to Heart, before I've talked about social media. Everybody want to be clapped for these days. Everybody is going on social media to live a fake life because they want to be clapped for. Oh, of what profit is it? It's deception. You're deceiving yourself. I only pity people who copy this online so-called designed people who design themselves to be what they are not. People must not clap for you all the time. Don't wait for the clapping. Don't wait for people to clap for you. Sometimes when walking towards your successful days may not require people clapping for you, or sometimes growth feels boring because when it gets, people don't like work. That's the truth. A lot of people don't like work. So sometimes when you're walking, it looks boring. When you are striving to be successful in life, sometimes it looks boring because it's just like you're driving on the road and it's only you on that road. You're going, no car is coming from behind, no one is overtaking you. You're just going, only you. Sometimes it looks boring. But boring is where mastery is built. Do not despise small beginnings. Small steps compounds. Small habits accumulate, and of course, small disciplines create massive outcome. Just be consistent in it. Every expert you see today was once a beginner who refused to stop. Because so many things happen to stop them. When you're starting a business from the scratch, it is very difficult. If you are not consistent, disciplined, and obedient, you run away. Yes, of course. That period, that growing, that incubation period, if you're not careful, you run away. A lot of people have run away from businesses like that. Then when other people start doing it, enduring that boring moment, that lonely moment. Then when they come out successful, they say, well, why did I even leave that business? Because you were not consistent, disciplined, and of course obedient to the rules of the game. Success have a rule. It has a rule. Yes, you need to abide by the rules of the game before you become successful. Breakthrough don't just happen overnight. That kind of breakthrough that you're looking for doesn't last. Yes, a dribbling tap can fill a bucket over time. Don't you know? Provided there is consistency, it's dripping. Pim, pim. All right, let me give an instance. For instance, you get to the hospital and they give someone drip. All right, there is drip on a patient in the hospital. You see the way it drops, pim, pim, pim. It will appear as if it's never going to get finished, but just give it a time. That drip will finish. Everything will finish into the patient's body, but it's dripping. It takes patience. All right. Not because the drops are big, but because they are consistent. It's dropping. Because of the consistency, whatever you're doing, please ensure to be consistent. If you really want to make it, if you really want to succeed, focus on the progress, not the perfection. Celebrate effort, not just outcomes. Show up when motivation is low. You might not see. Let me tell you something. A lot of people don't celebrate upcomings. That period where you are struggling to be successful, when you're struggling to grow, a lot of people just look at the ignore. Some will not even take you serious. And that's why you need to be careful the kind of relationship you keep. I pity for people who push aside people that were with them when they were in their incubation period, when they were trying to become successful in life, the people that encourage them. Somebody may not even give you all the money, but the encouragement coming is enough. Consistency turns into ordinary actions into extraordinary results. Yes, by the time you're consistent, it turns ordinary action into extraordinary results. All right, keep going. Small steps taken daily will carry you further than big intentions that was never acted upon. A lot of people have big dreams, but they never acted on it. Where are they today? They are nowhere to be found. Well, you need to dream big and you need to act on the big dream, no matter how small, on a daily basis. Be consistent, be obedient, and of course, what else? Be faithful to whatever it is you're doing. Many thanks. I'll come on your way again. My name is Ramsey Enoch. Bye-bye for now.
We hope that that inspiration has, motivated you for the start of the new week. We dive now to the newspaper review segment, and we're starting off with the Vanguard newspaper. The Vanguard newspaper, first story above the nameplate: manufacturers record 1.8 trillion naira on sold goods as demand slumps. There are some riders to that. Inventory surge contradicts official claims of economic recovery. Another rider: raw materials up 15.4% to 1.5 trillion naira. Nigeria's industrialization efforts weakened, and that's coming from the CPPE CEO. Rising costs, weak demand squeeze firms. That's coming from CIS president. Okay, to the next story. Federal government oil production data cast doubt over 2 Mbpd 2026 target. You find details on page 26. Next story, police arrest suspects over death of gospel singer. 3 others in Ajah musical studio. Okay, I think I saw this on the internet yesterday. 3 people died in a studio over while they were having a program. I think a musical program in that studio, and I was wondering how did this happen?
Was it an electrical fault or something?
Well, I really didn't find details to that, but I mean, you can find details on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. It's quite a sad one, and we pray that their souls rest in peace. From left, former President Goodluck Jonathan, Senate President Gospel Party Chairman. Okay, there is a picture story there, and you want to read up details. Next story, 2027 polls. How 3 Southern senators blocked real-time results transmission. There are some riders to that. Senate bow to pressure to hold emergency sitting tomorrow instead of February 24. People have been agitated. I heard there's going to be protest today regarding the whole...
they fought and back. See, Nigerians are becoming wiser.
That's what I said. I said, you see, Nigerians are not quiet anymore.
Social media. There will be protests.
There's going to be protests.
Because they are already planning it, and it's going to be massive.
Today, I saw Randy Peter from Nigeria making a comment, on that, trying to mobilize people on social media yesterday for the protest that's going to hold today, Monday. So I don't know how that is going to be, but I know that it's related to the electronic votes transmission that was declined by the House of Reps.
They're now saying it's going to be transmitted, but can't be real time.
Anyways, let's see how all of that unfolds. NBA worries over delay in Electoral Act amendment, says judicial interpretation key to credible polls. No mandatory e-transmission of results, no election. That's coming from the NLC. Okay, interesting times ahead, right? Let's go to Kano State, where Kano orders cancellation. This is not Kano State, I beg your pardon. This is Nnamdi Kanu. So I saw this yesterday too on the internet. Kanu has ordered the cancellation of the Monday sit at home. I'm sure he wasn't, he was told to do that basically because of the agitation still in the east. The governor of Anambra State, precisely.
But they said he was not responsible in the first place. Is he now responsible given instruction?
Well, maybe they had to get him to do that because this governor has come out to say, please, you people have to work on Mondays, but the people are still saying we are not working.
The fear of unknown.
Yeah, so they had to get Nnamdi Kanu to make that happen. And he has done that. So let's see how Monday, which
the response is going to be.
How the response will be today. Well, read up details on page 27. And Phase 1 report launch of LIFC in Lagos. Those are your headlines. There is a cartoon story there. You want to read up all of this on the Vanguard newspaper by getting yourself a copy. We go now to the Daily Independent, and Ramsey takes us through it.
All right, thank you very much, Priscilla. Let's get to the Daily Independent and see the headlines that we have. The first one above the nameplate says, as a matter of fact, Senate holds emergency plenary tomorrow amid poll result transmission disputes. Then moving away from there, we also have this one which says NLC threatens mass action over e-transmission of poll results issues. Details you can find on page 7. Zarab asks CCB to probe senators over Electoral Act amendments and tax bill. A pension asset surge, a boost path to 185 trillion naira, AUM 50% GDP share. Pouring public funds into moribund refineries, economically indefensible. That's coming from Atiku Abubakar. As at last week, we heard that the NNPC, the refinery in Port Harcourt, is gone, and so many things, reactions coming in respect to that. Pope asked Nigerian government to protect citizens. Details on page 6. And now to the big story as I try to round up. Manufacturing sector on path to recovery after years of headwinds. Those are the headlines for you on the Daily Independent newspaper today.
Okay, thank you so much, Ramsey, for bringing us that. Now we go to the Nigerian Tribune, and we're starting with the first story above the nameplate, which is on insecurity. Tinubu receives commander of U.S. African Command. That detail is on page 2. Next story, Atiku demands privatization of refineries, says politics must never substitute for sound, transformative policy. Okay, it looks like Atiku is trying to own one of the refineries. Well, that was on a light note. Let's go to the Star story, and it's on the Electoral Act. Senate to hold emergency sitting. NLC threatens mass action. You find details on page 22 and 23. Okay, there are some writers to that. The first is Apabio Conference Committee members, others come under pressure. We won't take anything less than real-time transmission. That's coming from a Barry Bain. The third is human rights lawyer, SDP, others condemn Senate. Okay, so we had a policy analyst come up on Friday to come tell us why he thinks that this whole thing will not work. He talked about the fact that we don't have good networks across all the states, especially in the suburbs where, you know, elections still happen. So the debate is there. And I'm sure that is what the Senate will also come out to say. So what is the solution to villages where you don't have internet working or you don't have stable network? What would be the case in such a scenario? For me, I think we should have two solutions to this. One for the rural community and one for the urban community, because Nigeria cannot be all encompassing in rules and laws, because we have different realities across, you know, the country. So that's my opinion if you ask me. Let's go to the next story. Khan urges Tinubu to establish military base in Aguara local government in Niger State. Well, this is very important considering the whole insecurity. And let's now go to page 26 where we have police seize large consignments of illicit drugs in Ibadan. Okay, next story. Federal government reopens Samia border corridor in Kebbi State, and you find that detail on page 33. On health, we have sleeping without pillow may lower high internal eye pressure. I'm sure you heard that, Ramsey. Please don't sleep without pillow anymore. You want to find out details on page 3. IPOB cancels Monday seat at home. Details on page 29. NDLEA arrests China-bound auto part dealer from ingesting 95 cocaine wraps. That's serious. Details on page 29. Finally, we have police confirms death of blogger. 3 others inside Lagos music studio. That's details on page 26. And those are your headlines for the Nigerian Tribune. We go to the Daily Punch, the Punch newspaper now.
All right, let's quickly bring you headlines from the Punch newspaper this morning. This one says, a marking day, Wike camp set for showdown at PDP headquarters today. I think we'll keep you updated with the rest of the story. I think Ubong is going to be bringing that story subsequently. You just keep watching Global Television, right? Electoral Act standoff, that's the kicker. The Senate calls emergency plenary as protests loom. Okay? Must we wait until there's protest before we do something? Okay. Occupied NAS protest slated for Monday. Then the second rider says NLC Falana is sequentially Utomi won federal government. The Senate holds recess to review electoral bill. That's important. Those are the riders to the big story. And of course, that's the stories that we have today on the Punch newspaper as we move to the next point of call.
And the next point of call will be the First Daily. We're starting with the first story beside the nameplate, and it says, Tinubu set for historic UK state visit after King Charles' invitation. Okay, I see. I heard that this is coming after lots of a good number of years. Nigeria has not been there, not represented in the UK. But so we say congratulations to us. Okay, the Star story: showdown looms. NLC threatens protest, election boycott over e-transmission fiasco. A writer to that says, Senate convenes emergency plenary session today. Well, it's going to be an interesting day today, which is Monday. IPOB abolishes Monday seats at home across Southeast. Another interesting one for today, Monday. 2 die as petrol tanker explodes on Anambra Highway. This is not a good one. Sad one. Another sad one. Kwara killings. Pope Leo mourns victims. Urges government to protect citizens. Please, Nigerian government. It's becoming an international affair. We want more security strategies across the country. Abiodun unveils 1 billion naira AI classroom for Ogun schools. I like when the government is jumping on. This is a welcome development, of course. Man attempts to kill daughter, hangs self in Ekiti. Wow. Strange things are happening every day. NDLEA uncovers methamphetamine hidden in yogurt packs MP3 players. These guys are becoming very strategic. We thank God for that interception. Finally, we have UK-based Nigerian footballer dies after brain injury. This is a sad one. You want to read up details by getting yourself a copy of the First Daily newspaper. And next, we'll go to the Daily Trust.
All right, let's quickly look at the Daily Trust for you right there, where we have some stories making rounds. And of course, if you look at the left-hand side, you see electoral bill, that's the kicker. NLC threatened mass action. Well, we're looking forward to what's going to happen later today, because it's all about the Electoral Act, okay, non-transmission of result real time. And this one says 30 die, many injured in Kano Road accident. US-Nigeria travels deep amidst visa ban, entry restriction. Woro killings expose Nigeria's rural security collapse. Benga Hashim is the one bringing us that. Uromi killings, that's the kicker. Edo yet to pay compensation 11 months after. And this one says IPOB ends a seat at home in Southeast. Reptile take over FCT Health Center. Reptile take over FCT Center. Are they on strike? How comes? How did they start it? What kind of reptile? Is this snake or what? Attacks on police facilities kill 45 officers in 1 year. This is coming from, you can get that on page 5 and 6. This is coming from the IGP. Those are the headlines for you today on the Daily Trust newspaper as we move to the nations, which probably will be where we'll round it up on the national dailies. Okay,
so the Nation newspaper seems to be a bit scanty with the Corporate Affairs Commission having a list there. Well, let's take the few stories we have. The first one being widest circulating. Okay, Bank of Industry secures CBN approval to operate non-interest banking window. Okay, it's a good one. Next and last, Senate reconvenes on Electoral Act. Find details on page 2. Those are your headlines for the Nation newspaper. Can we take any more?
Yes, we'll take one more.
Let's take the Daily Sun. The Daily Sun, first story besides nameplates, no more Monday seat at home. Kanu orders IPOB. Details on page 8. Page 6, I beg your pardon. Next story, cost of medicine soar, defy federal government's cost-cutting framework. Okay, you want to find out by reading details on page 29. Insecurity, tension in Kogi, Niger State. 2 writers to that. Market motor parks shut across 7 local governments in Kogi, We are under siege. Niger communities cry out. This is not good. This is a sad one. We need to come to the aid of northern Nigeria. Let's go to the next story. NBA president raised alarm over rot in judiciary. Details on page 6. Pope asks Tinubu to protect Nigerians. Details on page 8. Dangote Cement vows to make Africa self-sufficient in cement production. You find details on page 27. And finally, we have Enugu government grows IGR to 406.7 billion naira, targets 870 billion naira in 2026. The writer to that says tax revenue accounts for 12.6%, non-tax contributes 87.4%. Details on page 5. Those are your headlines for the Daily Sun.
All right, this is where we'll call it a wrap on the national dailies. Global television has no editorial contribution to all of these headlines. It's coming directly from the various newspaper houses and their editors. Let's take a quick break. After this break, Ogochukwu Mobuno will bring us Social Buzz. Stay.
Up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
When social media speaks, we'll listen and we'll bring you the extra. It's your one-stop show for trends, truth, and the tea everyone seeks. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get the extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And on issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Buzz Extra, where the trend meets the talk, only on Global Television. When social media speaks, we'll listen and we'll bring you the extra. It's your one-stop show for trends, truth, and the tea everyone seeks. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get the extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And on issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Buzz Extra, where the trend meets the talk, only on Global Television. When social media speaks, we'll listen and we'll bring you the extra. It's your one-stop show for trends, truth, and the tea everyone seeks. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get the extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And on issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Buzz Extra, where the trend meets the talk, only on Global Television. When social media speaks, we'll listen and we'll bring you the extra. It's your one-stop show for trends, truth, and the tea everyone seeks. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get the extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And on issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Buzz Extra, where the trend meets the talk, only on Global Television. When social media speaks,
Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, the Global Morning Crew, and good morning, our viewers around the world. Of course, it's time for Social Buzz here on Global Morning, and I am Ogot Kumobno. You know how we bring you latest trending issues happening on social media. And today we're talking about a man who has been arrested for luring his friend's daughter, who is just 14 years old, to a hotel. So a married man and identified as Ernest Enomoma Ebetule, has been arrested for luring his late friend's 14-year-old daughter to the hotel in Lokoja, Kogi State, of course, with the intention of sexually abusing her. It was gathered that the girl recorded all their conversations and forwarded them to the family group chat. What a smart girl. Following a report by the family, security operatives monitored the suspect and arrested at the hotel. He has asked the girl to meet him. A family member of 4 Daniel Opanachi on Facebook, who disclosed this in a Facebook post, said that the Obetule was at the graveside of his friend, who is the father of this young girl who is 14 years old in 2025, crying about how he has lost a true brother. You can imagine that. I must tell you that these people, my mother will always say that whatever is eating the kola nut is actually inside the kola nut. So you can imagine a thing like that. In a Facebook post dated in December 17, 2024, Obetule has mourned his friend, who is supposed to be the father of this young lady. And according to Ofo, the suspect was arrested with a condom in his pocket while waiting for the minor to arrive. Very sad. Well, let's take a look at, we'll listen to a voice note between, I think a conversation between this 14-year-old girl and this 50-year-old man who was inviting her to a hotel in Lokoja.
So it's not like that. I was talking to my sister. And my sister. And I don't like it. They were already inside. Sir?
You don't like giving me attention. I don't like it. Hello?
Hello, sir.
I say you don't like giving me attention, and I don't like it.
Sorry, sir.
So what did you discuss with your sister?
She said maybe if she and her friends are going out, she'll carry me along.
Okay.
But I'm not sure the specific time. But you'll be at home now.
No, if we are seeing, I have to see almost before 9, 10 now.
In the morning?
Yes.
Before 9, 10?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to her.
Okay, that's the plan. Is she'll pick you out. Okay, she'll pick you out of the house
and drop me anyway.
Then, how old is she?
My sister, she's 18.
Or your cousin?
Yes, sir. Abby, wait first. No, she's 20.
Is she in Filele there?
Yes, sir.
What you will simply do is this now. Your mommy will go to work in the morning. Okay. And by the time she goes to work, around 7:38, she can now, people will now plan. She calls that you should come to her. Please.
She's not far from our house, Sha. If I'm going, I can go and drop my siblings.
Will Ateko know? Will he? Does he monitor you?
No. They'll be at home playing.
Good. They'll be at home playing. Then what you simply do is this. As soon as she goes to, your mom goes to work now, around 8. And around that kind 8 now, you can you can now plan with her. Whether now she will call or come your house, come call you anything. Then, and I'll tell you where Keke will drop you. That's all now.
So where am I even coming again?
You don't used to go out now. Do you know barracks?
No.
You don't know barracks?
But my sister can drop
me. You don't know barracks? Where you're coming to is like army signal.
Okay.
Army signal from that your place now. From that your place, you enter Keke, the one going to barracks. Then you drop at army signal junction. That's all.
Okay.
Highest they will take you from the road. The highest where they will take you now 500.
Okay, from my
Since
house.
you're not going to the barracks.
From my house, madam, you want 500.
Yeah, from your junction. That's in Keke.
Okay, but I'm that machine that could tumbo na Keke.
You see?
I will enter bike before I go to where I will enter Keke.
I know now. How much do you have for you?
Nothing.
So sad indeed. This is a man who is supposed to be a father to these children after they lost their father, because according to a post we saw there where he was crying and mourning his friend, he said this is supposed to be like a brother, or he is like a brother to me. So what happened is more like you're trying to lure your niece to sleep with you. That's the only way we can talk about this, because how can you do this to a minor? How dare you do this to your friend, to your brother? This is very bad. I can't believe that we're still talking about this in 2026 with a 50-year-old luring a 14-year-old. What exactly can you see? That means you've been looking at that child even before the death of the father. You've been telling yourself, oh, this child, one day. What exactly lured you to that child? What exactly enticed you to that child? Honestly, what can you say? Because as an adult, you say, oh, she's wearing revealing clothes, oh, she already has all her features showing and all of that, and that's the reason why I was enticed. This is what she seduced me or somehow, because now they kind of made women to they limit women somehow. Oh, don't wear this kind of dress, you are going to seduce a man. Oh, don't wear this kind of thing, you are going to seduce a man. What about the men dressing anyhow? Who is talking about them? So these are things that we are talking about today on Social Pulse. But let's take a look at some comments. And of course, I have with me someone in the studio, and we are going to discuss about this. So the first comment we're taking today is from Adesola Abodirin. And this person says, this is a painful reminder that pedophiles often hide in plain sight. Even as family friends, parents and guardians must stay alert and protect their children from men like this. Big respect to the brave 14-year-old girl. Her intelligence, courage, and quick thinking saved her and exposed a predator. She's a hero in the story. Of course, she is. The second comment is coming from Red Lips, and Red Lips says, Red Lips says, please parents who let their kids visit his kids in his home, it's time to sit your kids down and ask them some questions. Of course. The last but not the least comment from the story is coming from Chisom Ada, and Chisom says, humans, her father was there for him. The least he could do is to ensure his friend's daughter excel and shine, but here he is trying to destroy his friend's daughter. Of course, this is what I said earlier. The least you could do is to be a father to these children, but here you are trying to destroy your own friends your friend's daughter, whom you also claim to be like a brother to you. Well, I'm not alone today in the studio. I have with me Priscilla Obasi. Good morning, Priscilla. Good morning, Ogochukwu. My head is buried in shame for this man. I feel so ashamed on his behalf. Like, this is too embarrassing. I just imagine this man, of course, has a wife. He has children. What a disgrace. What a disgrace. To come on national TV to see your father, to hear your father's voice note, to a child that's probably younger than his or his child's age mate. This is too embarrassing. I want to first of all start by saying, whoever his wife is, please don't take it too hard on yourself. It is not you, right? We should learn how to differentiate or separate ourselves from corporates. You don't have to feel embarrassed. I know it's embarrassing, but please don't think of anything crazy. Because, I mean, you can actually get to that stage where you start thinking crazy because of the disgrace, the embarrassment. So just take it easy on yourself. This is not you. Separate yourself at this point from the culprits because, honestly, it's not you, right? It's too embarrassing. It is too embarrassing. It's too heavy. I'm happy with the kind of confident kids that are being raised in today's generation. I mean, we had children being abused in generation, and they're still happening till now. But for this girl to do what she has done, and for this to be public, it is a lesson to every other child out there. If you can have this confidence in such a child, it means that you can also inculcate it in your child. Parents should learn how to raise confident children. Africans, we always misunderstand disrespect or respect for mediocrity. No, there's a thin line between respect and mediocrity, but we must learn to identify. You don't teach your child respect and make that child a mediocre because the child is trying to respect you. You don't make a child timid in the name of respect. Raise bold children. You'll be proud that you did that. You'll be proud of yourself tomorrow. Stop raising mediocres in the name of African respectful children. No, I'm not saying we should raise disrespectful children. We can have respectful, bold, and confident children. That is exactly what I'm saying. Now to the whole matter. This man has been identified as a friend to a friend to the father of this girl, like you said. In a society where women are told you are the reason why this has happened to you, a society that women are blamed for, the misfortunes that are being brought to them by males. A woman is a single mother and you are blaming her for being a single mother. Where is the man that got her pregnant? You don't ask. A woman is being raped and you're asking what was she wearing. It is not clear that morals are more inward than outward. Why do we focus on outward appearance and leave character? When somebody falls, you are looking at how the person looked, how the person dressed. I know that all of these are important, but they are not as important as compared to how a person thinks on the inside. And that's where it starts from. We should focus our attention to the character and character traits of people and stop the victim blame when people fall victim of situations. How do you want people to feel? Now imagine this whole thing played out well. Just imagine what people would have said about this girl. 14 years. You hear comments like 14 Gen Zs. Gen Zs don't even look at this. Very true. Gen Zs have spoiled. If this man had carried out what he had done, what had happened, or maybe the girl gets pregnant or something, you will see them blaming this girl. In a case where she didn't do what she did, in a case where she wasn't bold enough to record this whole conversation, I'm sure she had exposed the whole thing. She has a friend in that family, maybe an elder one that she confides in. For her to take this bold step, there's somebody backing her up. That is also to say that you should be a friend to your child. You should create an enabling environment that your child can confide in you, regardless of whatever it is they are going through. Don't create an environment that makes them run to their friends whenever they have situations like this. Imagine running to a friend in this kind of situation. If you're not communicating with a good friend, imagine you just know that this girl would eventually carry out this deed, or she has a friend that now starts to take her collect money from this man, make sure you rip him off, and that's the advice you get. So this advice, this whole confidence can only come from someone that has a confidence in that family, a matured confidence. It's a lesson to parents, it's a lesson to pedophiles, it's a lesson to you all. We're no longer waiting for judgment today. Yes, it is happening now. Right now it's judgment day. People are judging you already. So we're not waiting for the last day to be judged. You have to live right. Stop doing what you don't want to be done to you. Stop doing what you don't want to be done to your children. Very Stop true. It. Very true. This is really sad and I'm heartbroken. Anyways, thank you so much, Priscilla Obasi. You've said quite a lot about this topic, and I'm so happy about your point. And yes, this is a take-home to all pedophiles out there. And if you have that kind of thought, please reject it. It is only demonic to have a thing like that running through your head. And of course, for parents, please, just like you heard Priscilla said, all you need to do is to be friends with your children. Teach them the difference between mediocrity and also all the difference, between that mediocrity and also respect. We shouldn't shut them up when they are supposed to talk. Let them be bold, allow them to talk, and also teach them those two things. Okay, so that's all we have for you today, and this is where we close the curtain for Social Boards here on Global Morning. I'll be leaving you in the hands of Priscilla Obasi and of course Ramsey Enoch as they usher us into the discussion section of Global Morning. So stay with us. Good morning once again, Nigerian viewers around the world. I am Ogotku Mobno. Bye for now.
When social media speaks, we'll listen and we'll bring you the extra. It's your one-stop show for trends, and the tea everyone seeks. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get the extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And on the issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Buzz Extra, where the trend meets the talk, only on Global Television.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Hello, let's take a look at what the atmosphere has in store for us for Monday. There is a notable influx of moisture moving into the country, and it's pushing as far as the north-central states. Now, starting from the south, sufficient moisture is already setting the stage for cloud buildup and convective activities. And as such, residents of the coastal parts of Bayelsa, Rivers, Cross River, and Akwa Ibom states are expected to experience some rumbling of thunder accompanied with rains during the morning hours. But that is not all. Later during the day, these storms are expected to increase in coverage and intensity, as widespread thunderstorms are expected in the southern region of the country, with chances of rainfall in parts of Kogi and Kwara states. Overall, rain chances are higher later during the day, so plan your outdoor activities accordingly. Now, shifting our focus to the north-central region, partly cloudy conditions are expected with lots of sunshine in the northern states. That's the forecast. Stay with us for temperature forecast. I am Theodora Itum. Have a great week.
A very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Boards Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course,
welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
A joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as...
numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festival is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time, where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to...
World leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
One of them is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
we delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
New Imo is on the rise. In the beating heart of Owerri, business never sleeps. From sunrise to sundown, the wheels keep turning. And behind the scenes, vision meets action. Governor Hope Uzodinma's leadership has left the pages of manifestos to become real actions and achievements. Transformations that piece by piece feels like a miracle. But progress needs peace to thrive, and in Imo, we are not leaving it to chance. From land to sky to river deep, guardians are always watching, protecting dreams and opportunities. If you go to the quiet shore of Orashi Power, you will see the awakening of a hydropower roaring to electrify and energize a blossoming economy. The change is visible. The heartland of the East is under construction as new roads are threading together once forgotten places. Industry
Thank you very much for still being here with us. At this point, We're diving into the first conversation of today. And in this conversation, we're talking about the People's Democratic Party. That is one of the oldest parties, right? And we have heard in recent times, or we have seen in recent times, that it has grappled with leadership struggles, with internal divisions. And the question about the relevance on the national political stage ahead of the 2027 general elections is something that a lot of people have been asking. Now, the party has been challenged with disputes involving some of its leading figures, disagreement over recognition, and the debates on unity and direction. There's also been calls from inside the party urging the state governors and influential leaders to end the internal feud for the sake of the cohesion and the electoral prospects in 2027. At the same time, some of the party leaders are insisting that there are no factions, because I personally have spoken to some of them, and that the PDP remains a unified force committed to serving Nigerians and mounting a credible challenging force come 2027. So we have one of the PDP stakeholders in the East, in person of Honorable Peter Agunomba. He is the PDP stakeholders chairman in Abia State, precisely. And we're asking some of this developing question affecting the People's Democratic Party's credibility, affecting their unity and national relevance ahead of the 2027 elections. We're asking this for Nigerians that have been concerned about the People's Democratic Party. You get to meet our guests after this short break. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
for the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Okay, so thank you for still being here with us. We're right now in the conversation, and we're joined by Honorable Peter. Honorable Peter, are you there, sir? Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, sir. Let us start by you describing the current state of the PDP in Nigeria, especially in terms of leadership. What would you say about the current state? What would you say about the leadership, the unity, as the party prepares for 2027 elections?
Is that question for me?
Yes, sir. I'm asking about the current state of the PDP today in Nigeria. What is your view about it in terms of leadership and unity as 2027 elections are fast approaching?
Well, in terms of leadership of PDP, I'd like to state that we are good. PDP is in a good state, only that we are going through what is natural. Sometimes trees shed leaves to be stronger. In families, sometimes we go through some problems, but we come out of those problems stronger. And PDP is also going through one of those phases in life, in the life of an institution. And I think very hopeful that in the shortest period we'll come out of it much stronger than we were before. So PDP is sound. PDP is good to go. Administratively, PDP is on a sound footing. Thank you.
There are reports of lingering disputes, right, between some high-profile party leaders that insiders say could really affect the coalition come 2027. From your perspective, sir, how real are this division and what is being done to resolve them before 2027 elections? The cohesion, the rifts, the internal crisis. What are measures, or what are the measures that have been put in place to make sure that it doesn't affect 2027 elections?
Well, we are believing that we'll sort these things out in the shortest period and we'll come out stronger. We may have made some mistakes. Take for instance, we didn't need to hurry into any actions. If your house is in order, even the scripture says that if you have a problem while going to church and you have a problem with a member or anybody, you have to first go resolve that problem before you go to present yourself before God. So I don't think it was right for us to have hurried to go and do a national convention when we had some issues in the family, some outstanding issues. Some states, they didn't have they hadn't conducted their congresses. So there was no need. We could have stepped down that convention for like a few weeks or a few months and then do it and get it done once and for all. So I think that was a hasty step that has brought us into this imbroglio. But that notwithstanding, there is still hope because we are sorting out, things are being sorted out. Last week, we saw the position of the court, which the other interested party is also contesting. So, but we believe that in the shortest period, these things will come out. It's good to have these things in a party like ours because what it shows is that PDP is actually a democratic institution. We are a democratic party, the only democratic party I may boast to say that we have in Nigeria. So PDP is strong and we'll pass through this phase and we'll come out stronger. Even as it were today, I think that we are still on a very strong footing to stand the 2027 elections.
The convention was held in a hurry. It was its mission to expel members of the party that the party seemed or deemed irrelevant or deemed nuisance, right? I would want to assume that it was part of the reasons for the rush. But at this point, do you belong to any faction of the party? Because the party currently operates in two factions now. What faction of the party are you with?
I am from Abia State, and we don't have any factions here. I think that where we have a little problem is at the national leadership, where it might be subjudice for me to discuss the thing because there are contentions. But in my personal view, which I had expressed it just a short while ago, if we're having a problem in the house, I think that the right thing we should have done would have been to sort out that problem first before going for a convention. Do you know that many of the people, I dare say majority of the people that hurried into that convention have left the party now? So why were they hurrying us into error when we could have stood down to sort out things, to take care of the problems in the party, and then come out when we say we have resolved, then it would have been a thorough and a complete whole resolution. So I think that I may at the risk of sounding judgmental, I may try to say that the people that hurried into that convention actually hurried us into a terrible error, and I think the error is on them now. Since you have a convention and you cannot operate with the outcome of that convention, is it not an invalid exercise? Couldn't they have waited a little longer and put things in order? Even if there are warring parties, can't they resolve? Couldn't they have waited to resolve? Why were they hurrying? You cannot call somebody an inconsequential fellow in a party. Take, for instance, how can you go to a national convention and just stand there and say you are expelling such people that they did? If you expel those people, which people are remaining in the party? So I think there were errors, but then let me not judge anybody because we are a family. We still have opportunity to make amends, to mend our fences and then come together again. But of a certainty, we are good to go as far as the 2027 elections are concerned. That's I'm very optimistic about that. Hello?
You hear me, sir?
Hello?
Is there any talks? Have we had any talks in the party around primary elections and candidates springing up for election purposes, say governorship and even presidential? Or the party is waiting to recover before starting any kind of election conversation? Can you hear me, sir?
Well, election, there are the timetable, INEC timetable. Hello?
I can hear you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay, by INEC timetable, it is not yet time for people to declare their interests, except subtly. And I can assure you that subtly also, we have some people that by their body movement, you would be sure that they are interested to run on the platform of PDP in various states. At least I can beat my chest to say that in Abia State we have such persons for various elective offices, and ditto in so many other states. So we are good to go.
In the East and PDP in other parts of Nigeria at this point?
Well, I'm not ubiquitous. I will speak. I will speak for here that I am in Abia State, but I'm very optimistic that what happens in Abia State will not be very far from what happens in other places.
So what is the situation in Abia State with the People's Democratic Party?
I'm telling you that we are strong, we are sound, we are united, we are focused, we are determined to go the whole length. We are determined to take over leadership of Abia State by 2027 by the mercies of God and the will of the people of Abia State.
Right. Thank you very much. Let me ask a question. With the crisis, the leadership crisis, the national leadership crisis has deepened so much such that a lot of people are feeling disappointed. As a member of the party, what are you thinking, all right, about 2027?
Are you feeling disappointed on my behalf?
Talking about Nigerians.
Nigerians are feeling disappointed about the party.
I've already told you that we know we have some problem in our party, and as a family, we are taking care of those problems. Yeah, people might feel a bit disillusioned or disappointed about what has happened or what have been happening, but then it does not actually mean that it is a hopeless situation. All these things we are determined to come out stronger. We are determined to come out very, very stronger for 2027 elections. The fact that I just want to differentiate between misgiving, disappointment, and hopelessness. We are not hopeless. We are still very hopeful. We know that things will come out again, will come out right. Even the scripture says that the bone shall rise again. Haven't you read it? The bone shall rise again. And as a matter of fact, in the weakest state of PDP, we are stronger than many parties that you think are strong. Now tell me yourself, which parties are stronger than PDP in Nigeria? Just tell me any party that is stronger than PDP in Nigeria. We are in every ward. We are in every unit. We are in every local government in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And we have very strong followership, very, very fanatical followership all over the country. And so we are strong. We know that there may be some issues, but then we are not that deflated that we cannot stand strong. If there is PDP is the party to watch in the 2027 elections. That's what I can tell you now.
Okay. Okay, so we have members of the PDP currently defecting to other parties. Well, you asked that we mention a party that is stronger than the PDP. Those that are defecting to other parties, like the ADC and other parties, even the APC, right, for personal preferences. What would you say about that? If PDP is as strong as you just portrayed it.
The shenanigans are just part of political activities, especially before elections hold. People are going into parties, moving from one party to the other, perhaps looking for how their interests could be protected. I can tell you also that some people are joining our party. Some new entrants into politics are joining us, and also some other people from other parties are joining us. And I can assure you that soon, many people that defected will return. Many people that defected from our party will return. Most times people hastily run into a scene they think might be very favorable. But when they discover that they are not favored, some of them, let me use the extreme instance, like the prodigal son, they will still return to their family. They will still return to their family. We are hopeful. Our arms are open to welcome back a lot of our people that defected, because we are very optimistic that many of them will come back.
That is a good hope, as a matter of fact, hoping that a lot of them will come back. We're looking forward to how that would be possible. Now, from the judgment coming from the court, recognizing, a particular fashion over the other one, and of course, the issue of the Oyo Convention, what do you think? Do you think that there will be the coming together of these two factions? Because if, as far as this faction continues, no matter what the plan is, I don't know what is going to happen to the People's Democratic Party. But the Wike faction and, of course, the Makinde faction and what the court is saying right now, what do you think, about the court judgment? And what do you think is going to happen going forward? Would there be an agreement or unanimousness among the factions?
It's good that you have not dragged me into an area of my incompetence. I do not have the capacity to analyze the judgment of the court because I'm not an authority. But what I can tell you is that as a family, PDP, however they will do it, will come together strong. If I'm to advise, I will ask that the warring parties get into the house as a family and put the house in order. That will be for the greater good of the people. But even if it does not happen that way, I can tell you that a branch of PDP is still stronger than many parties. That is just one thing. We do not hope that anybody. The Bible says that if you lose a sheep, if a shepherd loses a sheep, he abandons the others and goes after that sheep. So I think that every member of our party is important. Every member of our party is important. Whether you belong to what you call the Makinde or the Wike factions, or wherever, if we have such things anyway, everybody is important. Let me tell you, you don't overlook the wisdom of the aged. You know that former Senate President Saraki pulled out of that convention on the grounds that it was ill-timed. You cannot be going for a convention when your house is not in order. He called for a reconciliation committee to complete their work and then step down the convention and hold it on a later date so that the committee would have tidied up the reconciliation effort. But these people hurriedly went and did that. And today, instead of having a solution, we are having more complications. But then there is hope. Whether anyhow we look at it, there is hope. The court has fired the first salvo, and we believe that that is an indicator. At least we know that there are people that were disenfranchised as a result of that convention that took place. And we are looking at a situation where those people that were disenfranchised will hold their congresses, and the fresh national convention will hold. All parties will be welcome to the national convention, whether you're from faction A or faction B, if there is anything like that. Because I believe that we have a united party, a party that has a mindset. But there are people that have decided or that want to do things out of line with the set norms. But then I would not want to sound judgmental in any way because I believe that all of us are important. We need everybody. We need everybody in this our party. And so, however it's going to be, we are hopeful that in the shortest period, we are going to hold a national convention that will reconcile every interested party, every faction, if there is any, if I should use that word. And then we'll come out together as a party, we'll come out strong, much stronger than we are now.
Now, we're talking about 2027 here. And of course, one of the things, all right, that the All Progressive Congress did to take over power from the PDP, because we know how the PDP reign was and the projection for how long it was going to stay in office until the takeover by the All Progressive Congress. There were certain parties that came together, all right, to form the APC before they took over. As it is right now, let's look at the place of opposition. Originally, the People's Democratic Party is being seen by Nigerians as the opposition party before the emergence of the ADC, the Labour Party, and the rest of them. But as it is right now, what would you say about opposition in Nigeria? Because for any party to sit up, especially the ruling party, it is when there is a strong opposition. Do you see a strong opposition for this administration so far? Looking at the crisis in the People's Democratic Party, the crisis in the Labour Party, and the coming together of some politicians to form the ADC. Can we say there is opposition in Nigeria, and what would be the implication if there is none and if there is any?
There is opposition. There is opposition in Nigeria. Whether the opposition is constituted in form of a political party or with civil society or any group of agitation. Once people are complaining or raising issues, fundamental issues about misgovernance or areas they feel the government should do better, I think it is opposition. Then, today in PDP, we are still a very strong voice in opposition. opposition does not necessarily mean cynicism. If we are in opposition, it does not mean that we should be blind to certain things that are going well. I dare say that out of the 3 or 4 front runners in the last election, we have today Atiku and P2B in ADC. We have Rabiu Kwankwaso, who is still in an NPP. We wouldn't know where his allegiance will be. Those people with their new groups, party, should be able to also raise a voice in opposition, just like PDP is doing. But if you ask me, I do not see anything wrong in a government of national unity, in a coalition, so to speak. If we think that Tinubu is doing well, or in some areas he is doing well, though there are some areas that he needs an improvement, and we say we are supporting him, there is nothing wrong. In those days, we had NPP, NPN, and AD and all that. They had government of national unity. Even in after the independence, Tafawa Balewa, Azikiwe, them, Awolowo, they had the government of national unity. Government of national unity is where you put the interest of the nation above your political party interest. And so today, even if the PDP, I am not speaking for PDP, as I'm not making a declarative statement, but I'm saying that even if today PDP says they want to support President Ahmed Tinubu as their presidential candidate, for me, there is nothing wrong about it. If other Nigerians feel stronger, and maybe they are in ADC, they are in Labour Party, they are in NNPP, and they say we don't agree with that position of PDP, and they want to fight against the APC, then that will be Tinubu, by APC, I mean fight against President Tinubu in the forthcoming election. That is their own opinion. So what I'm saying is that PDP is still doing opposition work. But maybe what people want PDP to be doing as opposition may not be exactly what PDP would want to do as opposition. I'm not speaking for the Benin. I'm not a national officer. I'm just in my local area, in my village, doing my own thing. But then from the way things are going, I wouldn't see anything wrong. I wouldn't see anything wrong if PDP wants to.
Just hold it for a minute. Let's go on a quick break. After this break, we'll get back to you again. And of course, this discussion is getting very deeper right now, and we'll explore some other areas. Global Morning returns, and the conversation continues after.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
for the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 morning. Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
One of the things that you can't take away from the members of the People's Democratic Party is the confidence. As a matter of fact, when somebody knows what he or she is doing, there is this level of confidence. If you listen to the last conversation, Honorable Peter was trying to say, well, maybe the way Nigerians want the People's Democratic Party to act as so that they can know this is an opposition. Maybe different from the way they really want to act. And you know, politics is all about strategy. Probably there are other things they are doing that Nigerians may not be aware of. But he said they are opposition and they are strong. One of the things that stood out for me is where he was emphasizing that the People's Democratic Party is still strong. But then somebody may want to ask questions. What are the ingredients, the pointers that a particular political party is so strong, is doing well? The faction for him is not an issue, all right? These are people that are not satisfied with one or two things. The court rulings, the recognition of the wicked faction, all of that, he's not seeing it as an issue. But then he said, no matter how many people leave the People's Democratic Party, there are still people who are so loyal to the party. But one of the things that a lot of Nigerians are concerned about is a party that would be able to give the ruling party a run for their money, just like APC did, you know, back then. But as it is right now, with everything happening, with everything going on, if you want to look at the People's Democratic Party, you would say, well, this party is standing all right, not the way Nigerians want it to stand. And I was asking if he is feeling the part that Nigerians are also feeling disappointed because of what is happening in the People's Democratic Party. And his response for me is, are we feeling disappointed for him? But then I think the disappointment may not be for people who are members of the People's Democratic Party alone, but Nigerians. There are people, let me say this, there are people who are in other political parties, but would want to throw their wings behind a particular party. I've seen where somebody during an election for the presidency, the presidential election, they vote for a particular candidate. They come to that of the Senate, they vote for a particular candidate. House of Rep, they vote for a particular candidate from different parties, even coming down to the seat of the governor, the candidate, the gubernatorial candidate. They still vote for somebody in a different party and all of that. That's good and fine. And that's to tell you that Nigerians in nature, some Nigerians may be card-carrying members of the People's Democratic Party or ADC, Labour Party, Accord Party or whatever party, NNPP and all of that. But then they might have candidates of their choice from another political party. What am I trying to say? 2027 is around the corner. A lot of defection. If you get to the National Assembly now, how many minorities do we have from the People's Democratic Party? That's one. Then you get to the governors, who are the #1 leaders in each of the states in Nigeria. And like I would always say, the place of governors, all right, cannot be underestimated in any election. Because they are the leaders of the state, especially in a country where people are easily, some people, not all, I'm not generalizing, where some people are easily being carried away by bag of salt, bag of rice, not even bag, am I calling it a bag? Maybe some noodles packed in a bag, they share to people, some even share salt. People who've seen where people sell their votes just for some mudu of rice and all of that, because the people are impoverished, because the people are poor, because the people are hungry. And one of the things that has led to vote buying most times is because of the hunger in the land. Some people will tell you whether I take it or not. The person of their choice will soon emerge. That's a school of thought anyway. I don't know how they come about that research and that belief and that school of thought and that mentality that whether they vote or not, their vote wouldn't count, so they prefer to sell their votes, which is wrong. Constitutionally, it is wrong. The law is against it. A lot of things have been said about vote buying in the past, but yet you keep hearing about vote buying. The by-election in Anambra State, some observers said there was massive vote buying. What about the one in Osun State? What about Ekiti and other places? People, they've been in this accusation, or should I say accusation, or statement by observers as it has to do with vote buying. Now, the People's Democratic Party, on their own part, are saying whether governors do any underground work to encourage the electorate to vote for the ruling party because they left, that wouldn't count. All right, say they won't be able to do it because there are still people who are loyal to the People's Democratic Party. But how do we test loyalty? All right, how do we test loyalty of these people? These people that will say they are loyal. How do we test their loyalty? That's one thing. If you really want to know if someone is loyal to a particular party, which is very scarce, you need to check them out, their participation in the parties. What will they be able to sacrifice for that party, for the party to emerge in a particular election? It doesn't matter the kind of election. It could even be a council election. Loyalty is loyalty. All right. But one thing that has happened that Nigerians have seen and somehow worried about is the level of defection. It has not happened before. It has not. Everyone will tell you, how would I say, most of the governors and the political officials defecting will tell you, you expect me to stay in a house that is dilapidating, you want it to collapse on me? That's the question a lot of them will ask. And they will also tell you, we are doing this for the benefit of the people. They don't even look at themselves, even though some people will say the game of politics is a game of personal aggrandizement, or maybe what I will get for myself, greed and whatever, selfish interest, as it is being called in quotes. But then they will still tell you the reason I'm defecting is not because I really want to defect, but then the house is in order. I have a mission, I have a vision why I got into politics, and I know this party, which is a vehicle that it's supposed to take me to my destination, is not capable. Probably the tires of this vehicle is bad. For some of these vehicles, the engine is bad. A vehicle that the engine is not, where would it take you? Can it move further from that destination where it is, that spot where it is? These are some of the things they are using as excuse. But then we still have some very loyal officials of the People's Democratic Party, like Honorable Peter, who is joined us today on the program. Very soon we'll get back to Honorable Peter, but I needed to do this background, all right? I needed to do this background explanation so that you will know one or two things. One of the reasons why a lot of people still decided to stay in a particular party. Some people believe in the ideology, even though some people will tell you, do Nigerian parties have ideology? Yes, I think they do. And of course, some persons believe in this particular ideology and said, no matter what happened, I would remain in this party. One of the people that left the People's Democratic Party that so shocked me was a former Senate president, all right, who a lot of people felt, well, no matter what, the president is going to be in the party. But then he didn't join the opposition party, he didn't join the ruling party, but to another different party. Nigerians said so many things when he left the People's Democratic Party. That means a lot of people are still not believing in the party anymore, while some other persons have said, well, come rain, come sunshine, this is a disagreement. These factions will come together for the benefit of Nigerians and the benefit of the party, as the case may be. So all of this put together, we can now say, well, 2027, the All Progressive Congress is going to be given a run for their money. All right. But then, who is going to give them a run for their money? Is it the ADC or the Labour Party, LP, or PDP, and of course, we still have other parties that were being registered, but then, is it NNPP? Which party is going to give them a run for their money? Then some persons are thinking, why not these opposition parties in quote form an alliance, okay, and of course come together like the People's Democratic Party, ADC, Labour Party, and the other parties? What will happen if they come together? I think that's the next question I would be asking Honorable Peter. We will have Honorable Peter join us after this break so that we can ask him, is there a possibility? Is it a good idea? Will it ever happen for the People's Democratic Party, the Labour Party, the NNPP, and of course the ADC to come together and form alliance? Because some persons say for the All Progressive Congress it's a win-win in 2027. That is a school of thought. That's what some persons are saying, looking at the level of defection. But what do you think will happen if these other parties come together? Would there be an issue of who to field as the presidential candidate if they come together, or you can foresee something else? Let's take a quick break. After this break, we'll return and we'll have our guests join us as we move on with the conversation on Global Morning today.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Hello, let's take a look at what the atmosphere has in store for us for Monday. There is a notable influx of moisture moving into the country, and it's pushing as far as the north-central states. Now, starting from the south, sufficient moisture is already setting the stage for cloud buildup and convective activities. And as such, residents of the coastal parts of Bayelsa, Rivers, Cross River, and Akwa Ibom states are expected to experience some rumbling of thunder accompanied with rains during the morning hours. But that is not all. Later during the day, these storms are expected to increase in coverage and intensity, as widespread thunderstorms are expected in the southern region of the country, with chances of rainfall in parts of Kogi and Kwara states. Overall, rain chances are higher later during the day, so plan your outdoor activities accordingly. Now, shifting our focus to the north-central region, partly cloudy conditions are expected with lots of sunshine in the northern side.
Honorable Peter, thank you for staying with us. We needed to make of that background, give that background to our question. Thank you very much. Let me come back to you. Like I was saying a few minutes ago, what do you think, okay, if the PDP, the ADC, the Labour Party, the NNPP, and all the parties come together to form an alliance for 2027, or maybe in the nearest future? Is it a possibility, or do you see it as a good idea, or do you see it to be something that will be fruitful, taking into cognizance of the actors in the game who actually want to pursue their political careers of becoming presidential candidates of their various parties?
Are you hearing me now?
Okay, we can hear you now,
yes.
Sir.
All right. Nothing is impossible in politics. But then, It's not everything that is expedient. It might be a marriage of strange bedfellows if we want that kind of alliance. It's a thing we have tried before. All those people went out from PDP, and some of the problem that we have today is because of what their activities in the PDP. All of us know, at least many of us know that in 2023, issues that were supposed to have been quite amicably resolved to give PDP victory, they toyed with it, called people, very distinct, very highly placed people, you call them boys, you say they're inconsequential, you refuse to take, consider a few things. You know, you must give concessions if you are a good negotiator. Any good negotiator that is stiff-necked, that has places rigidity, is not a good negotiator. And that is what they did. And made sure that they dealt a fatal blow on PDP in 2023. Now, you beat a child, and the child goes into the street. Certainly, somebody will cuddle the child, and then comfort the child. When you have done so, and you have exposed the child to an experience that maybe he didn't consider initially, then the consequence of his actions, subsequent actions, should not be blamed on him. What I'm trying to say is that this is my background.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me? Their interest now may naturally and certainly vary. And so, but then it is not still a hopeless situation, except when there is a proposal. You cannot discuss a proposal that has not been made. When the proposal comes, maybe those in leadership will think of how to handle it. And then we can now fall behind the decision of our leaders.
A very big role in the reconciliation process as the reconciliation chairman. And I like the fact that you're trying to unify every faction together. But then I want to ask, what do you do with sabotages in the party? The likes of those that have, played a major role in sabotaging the party, what disciplinary action would you have thought should be meted out to those set of individuals?
What is important in a community, in an institution, is not crying over sabotage. What is important is to achieve the objective. Christ had a saboteur in his team of just 12, but he overlooked him. He saw him, he knew him. He just overlooked him to actualize his purpose. Between the of sabotage of Judas and the time Christ gave the word redemption, how long was it? It was a very short time. And so all we know is that sabotage is unavoidable in human relationship. And so what you do is target the overall objective of your group, like political party. If there is a sabotage, what you should fight to do is to ensure that the saboteurs do not truncate the objective of your party. And then as for saboteurs being there, naturally they will be there. And then as for punishment, naturally there are stipulated punishment that you give to people in a party. People that sabotage the party are condemned or are judged as being involved in anti-party activities. And so if they're involved in anti-party activities, there are stipulated punishment for them, sometimes suspension, sometimes termination, sometimes whatever. It depends on what the disciplinary committee recommends.
Fell from the party. Do you think this was a good move based on the reasons, given for their expulsion?
Which expulsion? I said, which expulsion?
After the convention in Ibadan, there was an expulsion.
There's an expulsion given to some members of the party, inclusive of the Minister of FCT, Wike, Nyesom Wike.
For anti-party activities.
I do not have the mandate of the FCT minister to speak for him, but then, neither do I have that of the other people involved in that thing I will call a charade. But then facts are sacred. My people will say that what you have, the band you have on your hand, you don't need a mirror to see, to look at it, to observe it. The court has already declared that exercise a nullity. And so you cannot have a validity in nullity. You cannot say that, as a matter of fact, as far as we are concerned, there was no convention, because that's what I was telling you earlier. Our people would have, exercised a little restraint, put your house in order, and then go to the convention. Everybody will be involved. But in a situation where you hurriedly go to do a convention and not all states are represented in that district, it falls short of the standard. And now the court has notified it. Mind you, there were court judgments, 2 court judgments before that convention saying, do not hold this convention. But the people still held that convention. Now, a court has said that convention is a nullity. And so we cannot be hyping, we cannot be validating, whether by discussion or anything, a judgment, an action that was taken in a convention that has already been declared a nullity, an invalid exercise. So as far as we are concerned, PDP is still one. There is nothing like, this thing is not in our books. It's not before us. We do not have anything like somebody suspended from the party.
The expulsion and suspension are being nullified at this moment based on the court's ruling.
Well, exactly. Or do you have a different opinion?
Hello? Okay, sir. I'm with you, sir. Okay,
all right.
Let's talk about 2027. And what do you see as one of PDP's biggest challenge come 2027? I know you might how the program what would you see as the biggest challenge, and how do you think it should be confronted?
Well, our biggest challenge is the distraction that we have. The distraction we have by all these incoherent activities, discordant tunes and all that. And I think that the solution to it is coming together as a family, putting our house in order, and then standing in, bringing out a very strong force to stand the 2027 election. Standing elections must not be absolute. It must not be whole. Sometimes people could walk around things to achieve an objective. Like I said, even if it means that we are not going to present a presidential candidate, there is nothing, for me, there's nothing wrong about it. There's no point presenting a presidential candidate if you cannot really and very strongly contest and win an election. There is no need. Presidential election is not a child's play. But in other areas, we are very strong in the 36 states of the Federation. We can hold elections, contest elections, the governorship, Senate, House of Reps, Houses of Assemblies, and all that. We can still hold elections very strongly in those places. That's my own opinion. So we can come together as a people, whether from various groups. Nobody should say that nobody is important. The Bible says that a body is a body. The ear cannot say the eye is inconsequential, neither the ear the mouth. All of us, when we come together, we form a cohesive team, a strong body. But if we decide to say this person is inconsequential, we are going to fight Wike until we kill him. We are going to fight Makinde until we kill him. We are going to fight so person. No. If that is our mindset, we will only scatter. The Bible says that any house that is divided against itself will fall. But then we must make sure that anybody we see as an agent who wants our house to fall, we must make sure that by the grace of God, we do not let that person succeed. And that's why I'm saying that let our leaders come together, do the needful, do their reconciliation process, and ensure that our house comes together. Hold a convention, hold a national convention very soon, because it's the national leadership of the party that will give ticket to parties, to individuals. Hold a national convention and then have an agreed and acceptable, a legal, a valid national executive. As we speak now, we cannot be building on nothing. The capacity or the competence or the legality of what we have as the national executive is contested, already invalidated by a court ruling. And so we cannot continue to play on that. Let us have a national convention after the congresses would have been held in the various states where there are no duly elected officers. We held a national convention, and then from there, we'll go ahead. If we come together that way, I can assure you that PDP will pull surprises in 2027.
You spoke well. I love the part where you said it's not a crime if the People's Democratic Party does not have a presidential candidate in 2027. I wanted to ask you that question, but now you've answered it. Now, let's move on now a little bit. It has been alleged that some persons in the All Progressive Congress, the ruling party, are the ones stirring crisis in other parties for the sake of not being stable, so that they cannot be true opposition. It is, and they are saying that they are alleging, all right, that because of people who are playing anti-party activities. What do you think about that statement? Not just in People's Democratic Party. Look at what is happening in Labour Party, in and out of court. Look at the NNPP fashion. Governors are also leaving, and all of that. What do you think about this allegation?
Well, I would not like to give substance to such conjecture, but even if it is real, it is also natural. It's like somebody, you're in a football game, and somebody fires a shot towards you. The person wants to score a goal. And instead of you to halt the ball and play it out or defend, you help the person to score. And then you say that the person played the ball towards you. The objective of the player, your opponent, is to score goals. The Bible says, yes, the Son of Man will be betrayed, but woe to him through whom he is betrayed. We all know that what if in political strategization, destabilizing an opposition, an opponent, is a very strong strategy. It's a very strong strategy. So if you concede, if you yield yourself as an instrument for the stabilization of your party, then it's a very terrible thing. I do not know. So we cannot say that they're doing it. Yes, now it's natural. If there is anything they should do, they should do it. At the local level here, we do our best to try to make sure that other parties, we do one thing or the other to destabilize them. It is up to them. If they fail, if they fall into our trap, well, we win. We win. So it's a natural thing. Even PDP, if possible, they will want to destabilize other parties so that they will have victory. If you give PDP an opportunity to destabilize APC, wouldn't they do that? PDP will want to destabilize APC. So if APC wants to destabilize PDP and some persons in PDP yield themselves as agents, then that's very unfortunate, extremely unfortunate. But I do know that is not a way, in any way, of conceding to that. But then I know that such things happen. Such things happen. It's a game. If you're playing game, you would want to use any style, any tactic to defeat your opponent. And so destabilizing the party may be one of the strategies of APC, ADC, PDP. As far as it's concerned, it's part of the game. And so falling for the trick is what is very bad.
Now, before we let you go, some persons are saying 2027 is express for the All Progressive Congress. And some other persons are saying this defection from your party by governors is giving birth to what we call one-party system. In just a minute, what do you think?
You must have, I'm sure you went through school, and no matter how intelligent or brilliant a child is, when you sit the exam, you will be confident, but you cannot just come and say, I have passed until the result is declared. And so there is nothing like maybe APC being complacent. That is why they're still strategizing. Anything they do is their strategy. Even when the chieftains of the other parties, including my party, to come over to them, is their own strategy. If they were comfortable, if they were so sure, if they don't want to, if they were so sure of winning the election, they will relax now. But they're not resting on their oars. They are still doing everything to make sure that they get more members across each of their party to swell their ranks. So I do not see the 2027 election as a walk in the park. I do not also think from their body language and from the effort they are putting, like in my state here, the APC is putting a lot of effort. If not that PDP is strong, APC's effort would have made a complete obliteration of the party. Same with other parties. So if they are putting effort, it means that they are seeing a fight ahead. And as far as I'm concerned, that is a kudos for them. And for some of us also that are still standing in our party, I think is also commendable. 2027 is going to be a political election battle. And it is only the strong and the strategic that will be victorious. So nobody can just go to sleep and say that it is a walkover. No, it's not a walkover. Not for APC, not for PDP, not for any other party. It's not a walkover at all.
Our time is up already.
Thank you so much, Honorable Sir. Thank you. A lot is still to be said, but I mean, we'll bring all of those conversations across our programs. I want to say a very big thank you to our viewers for staying up till this point, watching us, and of course, thank you to Honorable Peter Ogumba for joining us on the conversation. Yeah, and this is where we draw the curtains for today's edition of Global Morning. I am Priscilla Obasi, wishing you a beautiful day ahead. And
thank you, everyone. Once again, to let you know that the opinion of our guests is entirely theirs and not that of Global Television. Many thanks for joining us on Global Morning. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye for now. I'm Ramsey Enoch Agbo.
Thank you very much.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the round.